on Lotus. This is a map they've loved to go for time after time. A lot of teams have banned it. As a matter of fact, Envy have not played Lotus since the last time they faced off against G2 back in Stage 1. That, of course, went wildly in favor of G2, but the times have changed here for Envy. Coming into the play-in stage, they've had a little bit of a new energy with them, and they're going to find G2 hiding over in the corner. Trade comes through from Kesnet, but still a player waiting in the wings.
Already G2 absorbing space elsewhere, though. Valen under pressure, but only one gets through that door.
Yeah, Glyph stuck on the wrong side, but he says it's the right one as Jogamo will claim 2 before he drops. This leads G2 now putting 2 players on the flank. Nothing to protect. Glyph has no idea at all, and it's Rossi now. Baby Bay on the other side to start this pistol off the right way, and still no idea that Baby Bay could be on the flank. A hop up to Root. Dre in prime position. Covered by that pillar, but still not decisive yet. And it's Baby Bay to hit first here in the pistol.
Really nicely done in that one-on-one. Baby Bay needed to win that. He baited his teammate, he played it slow, but he gets G2 their reward in the end. That was a very messy round. G2, this is a classic play from them. Hiding behind their wall, playing this double bait setup in the close corner. But where it got so awkward was with Envy only having one player go through that door, getting completely stalled out in this space, which allowed an incredibly active G2 defense to arrive just in time with the double flank.
Talk about the double bait setup in a lobby as well, with Alert coming online. Paid off in a big way as now you got Baby Bay and Leaf. They were just flanking together. Coming up with that first round win. Now already 2 kills and plenty of damage onto this Envy squad. There's not too much left for Envy to play for. Just one guy on site though, so if they deal with Leaf, that's a plant. But not when you stick your foot out through the orb, that's going to be wraps.
Not quite. This has always been G2's map where they showcase some of the best of their macro as
nice.
Team 1 gets another one of his shots. So I think that this is a big test for Envy in the sense that a lot of this revival for them has been not only finding their identity in terms of the comps, but switching Glyph over to the IGL, and I think coming into their games with a lot better specific prep for their opponents. And especially that got showcased in the M80 game and their match against Sen as well, where they dominated both those games 2-0. It looked like an Envy who had the read of how to play against their opponent. But this is now going into the map where Valen is at his absolute best as an IGL, where G2 are so comfortable in their macro. I think it's one of the biggest tests of the new Envy you could see.
And you know that Envy come in here, they know G2 like the map, but they also saw G2 get pummeled 13-1 versus Loud in the final week of regulation, so maybe trying to take some of the learnings there. Of course, I think Loud were super successful in their opening fights, basically every round playing from a numbers advantage. Let's see what Envy can do here now with some rifles in hand, just getting pushed out of that A space for now.
Again, G2 proactive. Look at Leaf, walked up with the judge.
No, Prowler spots him though. A warning shot and a chance to escape that stun though coming in.
Good molly.
Really good counter utility as G2 stall that out again.
G2 so active though. They still have players posted close on Rubble, Jaw in a complementary position.
Yeah, you even have Leaf stepping right back into that position, front B as well.
And if they even try and finish C, there's Vice Util here to stall, and Trent will be quick to rotate in.
Yeah, Trent, who started the round helping the team on A lobby, has now shifted all the way over to C. It's a deep wall though, so Kesnet will finally break it, just baiting that out. Still plenty of time for Envy to play with.
Very thorough. Kesnet not overheating here. Once that orb drops, they'll go. But Rossi in at the right timing. Leaf was just checking right, and that'll be the go sign on C.
Oh, look at that, Baby Bay! Comes in off a beautiful dog. A double stun from Trent. Sets Dre up for 2 kills. Now Trent stuck alone though. And it's just a Bulldog trying to get more done with the dogs. Look at Trent! Who let him out? This guy's mad! And Rossi left on 6 health now in the 1-on-2. In an anti-bonus round for Envy. Rossi will tuck tail, try to run out of here. Just 12 seconds on the clock.
Valen has a paranoia. That should be checkmate with 9 seconds.
Valen should just run in here, set his teammate up to stop the plant from going down, and Jogamo will clean up this round. A great start for G2.
That re-clear play was so sick. The dog connecting onto 2 the second that that Viper orb falls. And the follow-up on that fight.
Yeah, I want to see how the dog goes unbroken, because, oh, they have the
it's
orb
right through
there.
the orb there.
Yep.
I think the Chamber was picking up his trademark, looking the other way. Catch the perfect timing, and then Trent's doing this on site. So good as an anchor. And that round to me is just showing how comfortable G2's defensive macro is. You get pushed off B, Leafs reposting. There's pressure towards A. They're getting players forward there, and Demon 1 comfortable. But this round, they don't have too much to speak of. Losing that bonus almost guarantees a G2 4-0 start.
And so it'll be early rubble control again for G2. And a nice little turn around the corner from Valen. Envy looking a little bit lost here. Half the team stuck behind the smokes, the other walking out into no man's land. And now with this forward posting and the spike completely exposed, Baby also closing in. Envy have got to be feeling this pressure. A flash as well. Doesn't matter that Kesnit's in front of that because the flank has arrived. And G2 keep it perfect through 4.
Round looks too easy for G2. They clean up another A fight. So looking at Envy now, a lot of their success has been, for me, the maps where they're playing Kesnit Knights double duelists with the Neon Phoenix. They have Demon 1 on Chamber. I think here on Lotus, it's a bit of a harder task. This game, to me, is going to be very reliant on Kesnit. The Des was talking about it, but this team is kind of made or broken on how well he can entry if he has the right spacing off of the rest of his team. And I think that's especially critical against a team that has such good defensive protocols. You need to see him start strong, especially with a heavy lean towards Rubble.
Valen once again in a forward position, but this time it is that duo of Kesnit and Knights to completely blow up C.
Instantly win that Mound fight. And now G2, 3 players left to try and retake. Maybe the Bastion of Hope is a raise rocket for Jaw, and money to go for it.
This is a little bit odd because Envy still have 2 players miles away. G2 trying to keep the tempo up here, knowing they have the paint chills, knowing they have the rocket to get involved.
He backs into the combo.
Oh,
what is going on?
It's a disaster. So now brought down within 1 and still the rocket available. Good flash onto Demon 1. Pushes him away from the posting. And Jogmo not even looking to use that rocket yet. He wants the fights and it's going to cost him. Odin from a high angle too. Finally finds its mark. With the clock starting to wind down, G2 need to get in there or get out. And it looks like they're just going to play for some exits here. Realizing too much time has expired, they'll be happy to claim a few more heads on the retreat. But Envy have finally showed up here to play.
Envy's been getting dominated in these early fights so far. This round was different. Very good execution with the slide in from Kesnit, creating space for the rest of his team. They quickly trade out this fight. You can see perfect angle from him as Knights is coming out the other side. Might not be the Neon Phoenix, but those two still have great synergy when they're entering together.
Let's go, good job.
I think Knights coming into this team in the midseason was one of the biggest changes. Sure, the
100%.
beginning of Stage 2 was rough, but when you look at their run in play-ins, I think so much of it has been around that guy and the value he's brought to Envy.
And typically that'll be him on the Phoenix role, taking a little bit more responsibility, but even on the supportive roles, he will still get involved. Now back to fighting over Rubble. This time though, a good paranoia, and it's Baby Bay swerving around Mound. 3 kills already. G2 very quick to make the adjustments and quick to increase the pressure as well. Demon 1 just backed into a corner, and G2 knowing he has the op in hand, you have to believe the hunt is now on.
Absolutely. Do not let him keep his win condition in hand. A great adjustment quickly from G2. They lose that Mound fight in round 5. Immediately in the next round, Valen's there. And I love the timing he's throwing that paranoia. It's not off of the very first point of contact, it's a second later, once Envy has already used their fighting tools. So G2 tuck, and then they re-swing in after the utility has already been expended for Envy and clean up some super easy kills. I think that's one of the hardest things about this meta, where so many of these games are just being defined by these kind of 3v3 team fights. The team that is acting, the team that is taking the initiative is almost always at advantage, and G2 let their opponent take their turn and then fought back in and took theirs to win it.
I think maybe that's part of the reason why we see the comp change from G2 coming into the second stage. Trent moving away from the fade, getting his hands on the sky, having the flash for more active fighting. And now actually, G2 have picked up the operator that Demon 1 had to match that scoped weapon 1-for-1.
Envy again playing early into a 4-1. G2 have stayed very active elsewhere on the map. Already a dog through B. And they're reading that this is likely to be something towards the A side of the map, rotating a few players over to bolster their defense.
This round looks a lot more like how G2 is playing versus Loud. They were way more reserved in terms of early fights, playing quick rotates, playing quick retakes as well. But after showing so many flank looks and so much forward fighting, changing it up now here.
And because of that conditioning, Envy have been slow. They took their space towards A, now they contact up. But there's 4 players here ready from G2.
Oh yeah, and 4 ultimates as well. Glyph does have the Nightfall. That'll be the best way into the site, but now losing Demon 1. That's a big factor out of this round. Envy have also been stalled out by some good Thorns. Unable to pop quickly into this B site, although they do commit a couple key pieces of utility to do just that. Still trying to pull out ultimates, though, is the idea. They never wanted to commit there, and that's going to be a Steel Guard and burn, but Kesnet was spotted on the way out. Valen caught out by surprise there. And now G2 in a bit of a scramble. Players completely separated around the map, and now Viper's Pit encroaching on Heaven. With Leaf out of it as well. That's pressure on the eastern front gone. G2, they still have a rocket. They still have nades, but it's so awkward with all the smokes here on site and still utility being sent their way. The first shot has to be perfect. They have to punish Kesnet, but he still escaped somehow. And Rossi's cleared up into Heaven. Envy have completely swarmed in and taken G2 apart.
I can't believe Envy win that round. It's a 4-on-5. G2 have pretty much every ultimate, and that B play was so telegraphed. But the critical point of the round is Kesnet. He takes a risk, sliding into Link completely alone. Valen whiffs his shot, and this is the kill that makes the difference. Takes the smokes out of the equation, means G2, instead of having 2 players together on different fronts, are spread all across the map.
And you know that Envy is a team that once they feel that energy, feel that momentum behind them, they are a tough team to stop.
Oh yeah. So they go back to the same mount fight, already ulting in for Knights.
Knights is just on the site. Anticipating that when Baby Bay is weak on this side of the map, he very often falls back into spawn. Waits to regroup with his team and play with the numbers.
5-on-5 retake. But Demon 1 has the AWP and a teleport out. He could disrespect this Raze rocket, even if G2 use it.
Oh, he's so far up. Kill the Raze, and the round is won. He's got Leaf instead. Still, that's numbers, and the Paranoia pushes G2 back again. So Envy stick up on site. Demon 1 teases this again. He wants a little bit extra as the Nightfall goes deep. G2 still without positioning on this site. Trying their best now as the showstopper. Hops on up there. Leg shot comes in, and Jogamo deals the finishing blow on Demon 1. And the hold is good this time from Valen. Sticking the defuse. It's Rossi! Out of nowhere! 4 kills and the round.
That is crazy from Rossi. Comes up massive in what turned into a 1-on-3. Sprays down the remaining players in kind. And wins such a pivotal round for Envy.
And that's the momentum I'm talking about. Look at this position from Rossi. The spray transfer, guessing where that defuse is coming in, is just sweet for the Red Bull clutch.
Really nice. And that round,
Oh my God.
I thought G2 navigated it fairly well. Give that space, sure you lose a player to the AWP, but they're scaling to get back in off of the Raze rocket was honestly excellent.
Well, he knows he's playing against a Sky instead of a Fate, so he knows he's not going to get cleared on that close corner. He can go for the aggressive peaks, get the punish.
And he's so confident when he does it.
So G2 have gone back to that A main hold that was working for them to start this half off, but with the mess of smokes going down, a little attack smoke here for Kesnet to hide in. And it's hard for G2 to stick up in that space, especially on the weaker buy.
Jaw committed in this corner. Kesnet's reading it.
He knows. But still, it's not so easy. With some utility, able to counter out on the other side. Jogmo trying to jump up and over anything that can be thrown his way. And G2 really trying to support Jaw here. There's flashes coming in, everything thrown up, but with that wall to cut off the site players from their duelist, this has allowed Envy to get all the way up into spawn.
Still going.
This is wild. His spacing is way out in front, and it pays off. Something Imi was talking about on the desk was making sure he can keep it reined in, but in a round like this, him seizing those reins himself, he has completely taken over.
It's the second round where I don't necessarily agree with the play Kesnet goes for, but he wins it regardless. And it was that kind of aggression where I think he was failing in the regular season, where his stats got so bad as he tried to make these aggro plays as he got sent into sites alone. But this game, this is not that. This is a Kesnin who's playing confidently, and he's getting the results from it.
And it goes back to that idea of Envy. When they're feeling good, when they're feeling alive in the server, they're seizing moments like this. You play a little bit without fear, and can just make it feel so overwhelming. When you play against a team that's taking opportunities like that and they're hitting their shots, it's a very different beast to try and conquer.
Focus now.
G2 is a team that is bigger than the sum of their parts. It is built on their structure. If you break that down, that's where they can start to struggle.
G2 playing heavy B side this time. BabyBay left alone on A. Shift of their setup out of the timeout. And the rotates won't be very quick either. Let's see if BabyBay wants to actually stick around on side. I don't think so. He slips up the rope.
He almost always gives when he's alone anchoring.
And he is playing close on that in case anyone was going to try and go up this rope. Anticipating some overpush from Envy.
Holding this heaven space is important. G2, they need to clear out Rossi.
And Rossi's been the problem. Remember that 4-piece to get the ball rolling. After it was such a disaster, but this time they think Rossi's covering their back. Knights has to turn around and deal with Jaw. And now has to set his attention on Heaven. Knight's being asked to do so much in this round. He's patrolled every entrance into the site from G2, but it's too much when his entire team is playing off-site. Now Trent has worked his way back in. Demon 1 and Kesnet, they're stuck here in tree, and it's a perfect flash from Trent. G2 right back to business.
That was a great flash to close out. But that was a round where Envy's team fighting got flustered. They believed that their flank was being held, that Rossi had their back, but the Viper wall up in his face. We've heard earlier in the year some of the more chaotic comms when we've listened into Envy. This felt like one of those moments to me.
Yeah, because, I mean, Rossi easily could have calmed. He doesn't have the line, but when 3 other people are trying to make some kind of proactive play too, it can be hard. And in contrast, G2's comms are just the cleanest in the league.
They are so calm. They're so focused when you listen to them. That's what comes from experience, from being in these big games through years and years together.
And so in that idea of one team being the disciplined squad that takes fewer risks, that plays it by the books, Envy have still found ways to challenge in some of these rounds.
Envy was successful with these big fights towards Mound earlier in the half, but this time the spike isn't there with them. They'll bait out the Vise wall and let it stew for a moment.
Knights has just found a way to walk straight through his smoke covering, and Leaf's making tons of noise as well. Envy want this fight in a big way, and BabyBay unable to support his teammate. He'll simply have to fall away.
Trent has Seekers for this retake, and the weaponry, it's still there. There's still a chance. Does Envy want to try and take a fight? They group up towards spawn.
Oh, they
if
want
they can go early, BabyBay dead.
Oh,
that's big.
His teammate's just behind, and with Envy fighting up in both spawn and waterfall, G2 are crushed.
It's a second C post fight now where Envy have gone for a forward fight like that and found massive success off of it. It shows to me good preparation for how G2 plays. They love that C retake, and disrupting it, getting ahead of it, that's the key to success.
And you compare that to the previous round on A, where it was much more reserved from Envy. Granted, A site, it's hard to play forward unless you're inting up the rope and just gambling on that. These C post plants, they have simply figured out.
Fallon won't be contested on this save. Envy, this is a really rough start to this half, losing out massively early on. G2 looking like themselves with the defensive macro, but like you were talking about, I think for Envy it just takes that one round, that one moment of confidence, and that to me felt like it was that Rossi 3K.
Don't play rank, bro. It's so easy.
Yeah, don't play rank. Yeah.
Kesnet knowing that Leaf prefers to watch VODs instead of play ranked, so the call is let's just play ranked and beat them in it.
It's real. They're playing it, they're succeeding.
But it goes back to this idea of two teams that could not play the game in a more different way.
No.
A true contrast of styles here. As Envy continue to try and keep the heat up, but it's all a ruse this time. 3 players front B. As they will slip out of there.
Already into the B site though. Knights is TP'd forward past this line. Jaw backing off the cross. It's going to be another 5-on-5 retake round. Can Envy get the forward fight they want yet again?
G2 have full awareness. They've covered the flanks. They know no one's coming in on their extremities. And they can threaten a push through B main themselves. As long as Trent stays alive here, they'll have pressure on multiple fronts. And by tapping the door, they encourage Envy to keep playing ranked, keep charging forwards, back towards their own spawn. And Rossi there, trying to dance around it a little bit. Trent still holding his own. Falls away, buying time for his teammates to push back into the site, and Demon 1 drops. A good flash sends Valen packing. Oh my word, 3 kills. He's packing bodies there. With Glyph miles away from the rest of the team, Glyph into the clutch situation, but it's Baby Bay to shut him down.
G2, they might not play ranked, but they've played a hell of a lot of matches against aggressive teams, and there, they controlled the aggression perfectly. I love the way that Trent is playing that angle, jiggling in and out, knowing that his life is the win condition. It sets Valen up for this perfect flash. It honestly could have been even more kills than this. And as soon as Envy don't have the aggression they want, as soon as they just have to sit and stew on a side 2 pistol round, they got a bonus off of that, and they built some huge momentum. That cannot happen again for Envy. They need Demon 1 to get an early op online. This pistol is very important to get the defense on the right foot.
Absolutely is. Already some early work done to force a teleport out of Demon 1, and his TP sending him into Waterfall. Really overloads Envy on that western side of the map, although if Glyph is just going to get kills on his lonesome here on A, that's not going to be any amount of a problem for them.
Yeah, it's tapping away there, picks off Jaw. That's going to slow down any of G2's actual executes. They'll try and contact forward towards A. But Envy here, off the contact of a trip, rotates will be very fast to deal.
Question is what kind of post plant G2 could get set up in, because Envy really aren't looking to resist them much on site, apart from a couple of shots out from top rope. But with that smoke coming down now, let's see how far forward G2 want to play. Valen especially with that frenzy on a close angle underneath the smoke can be deadly.
Trent has a flash in 3 seconds. That's their chance to try and activate a peak, even the odds in this round.
Trent's utility was sublime in that first half. And right now, Baby Bay just keeping these players pushed away. Now the frenzy down in hell. How do Envy solve this problem? They're going all down into drop, nobody up on top rope. Just fighting as a pack, but there's that frenzy, 2 kills already. And now Trent in a tough to clear position. Such a problem, Kesnet will deal. And now Leaf into the clutch. Needs one more bullet to take a second pistol for G2, and he is just about perfect. Red Bull clutch to kick off this second half.
I think Leaf might have just ruined their day with that one. That was so nicely played in the 1-on-2. But I think the critical moment of that round came before this Red Bull clutch. It was the fight towards drop and Envy's decision to fully path that way. Instead of having anyone go towards heaven, having a second angle to help clear, they're all piling through together. And sure, Kesnet gets that initial trade, but no one's looking towards the player tucked close. That was Trent.
Yeah, and even if there had been one player heaven, it's still a 50-50 because G2 put 2 players in that position.
Yes, and there was a player just late.
Yeah. And so Envy, they've already lost Demon 1 again, and this is going to be a player that we're going to look really closely at in this second half, because Demon 1, very quiet on the attack side. That's all right, but when you move over to defense on the chamber, get rifles in hands, it needs to be lights out. That is your X factor. If your chamber player isn't finding success, then you're basically playing without utility on one of your agents.
And playing with that chamber means that your C-hold is so much weaker than when you have the Vise. G2 is able to pretty much always have players rotating into sites to flood in time because the Thorns are just such an excellent tool to stall time.
It's a tough position to be in because it truly is feast or famine. And you had G2 in that exact position in their loss versus Furia that sent them down into the lower bracket. That was a series where Baby Bay was on the chamber and struggling.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, even though they have a good op player in Baby Bay, it shows the priorities in how G2 wants to play the game. They want to play a type of Valorant that is consistent, that is going to succeed in most matches, that doesn't rely on any one player popping off, versus an Envy who is so volatile. We've seen the low of their floor, we've seen the extreme height of their ceiling, but how they show up on any one day can be anywhere in that band.
good for them that they've been showing up in this tournament so far after not finding success for the majority of the year. This is always the best time of the year to find that magic spark, right? You don't care how kickoff or stage 1 went, as long as you can make a run here, and this would be the match to start that off. Demon 1 just fully deals with Leaf. Of course, there was that shot that took him down to 10 HP, but nice opener.
Still clean from him. It's a good sign for Envy. G2 will still try and recover this round, but again, they have to face into Demon 1.
Jogamo taking some liberties now in the post plant already. Working behind that boom bot. Try and bait out some utility to clear away Heaven as the rest of the team repositions to fight up Waterfall. G2 taking a page right out of the Envy playbook, trying to play up and aggressive, but Envy are reading it. It's great counter util from Knights, and on the other side as well, both teams just bruising their way up into Heaven. This is the turning point of the round. Envy blitzing their way through this, disregarding G2's forward posture as they just light these players up. Trent somehow has even the score. Another one gives Baby Bay a chance. This would be Raps the craziest reposition of all time. Baby Bay, what was that?
If he got shot while he was jumping, if he got bullet tagged there, the round is over.
Oh my word, and look at him up there, absolute confidence.
Dre's got hops. Somehow he gets away with that one.
Can we check out his knees after that? We might need a medical check.
What was so impressive to me in that round was G2's ability to constantly create new threats. They were fighting towards C-Length, and immediately they're fighting up towards Heaven. They were going back and forth, trying to find the weaker side of Envy's retake. And in doing so, that bought probably 20 whole seconds off this timer.
You're moving, boy! That boy moving! Three of them. Like that shit? Come on, Trent, need you again! Come on!
Hey, it's that duo. Trent's been tough on the scoreboard for this entire map, but after Lordians into this next round, and their only hope of salvation is Demon 1 getting kills to unlock that tour de force in the following round.
Leaf, though, he might not play ranked, but he's got a great read on the game, and he's brought an outlaw into this round against 5 players with 25 shields.
In that last round, he hit the opening shot on Demon 1. Now, Demon 1 had 150 health, so it wasn't a kill. Now, of course, it will be. Leaf already firing that outlaw out over towards this A side. I think we're going to have a chance to listen in to G2 and hear how they try and take this round.
Chamber should be B, Viper C.
And no one's close C. It's Viper then. Yo, I'm gonna sound bait. Can you guys like backfill me? Can I get somebody close here?
Alex, go.
Okay, come on. 3 steps, Dre. Listen, I'm gonna full sound bait running away, okay? Can you wall up when I do it?
Yo, they
and
never...
you're gonna kill him, ready?
Okay. They just powered A again. I'm dodging it. We dodged the A util.
Yo, Alex, you should like
Hold up.
show your Roomba, try to break the trip.
They smoked.
Yo,
They're
they think
expecting
it's
A.
Is there a trip there?
No trip. Trip's probably A short, like pistol round. Yo,
Okay.
40 seconds, Jake.
Boys, we're just gonna end A strong with Sky out.
Heard.
All right.
Open the door for your ult, okay?
Spamming.
Stairs.
Wait.
Stairs.
Can we?
B pivot?
Yeah, maybe we end B pivot. I think
Okay,
we're
I'm
gonna
open
end
the
B
door
pivot.
and then I'm gonna
Yep,
you're gonna ult.
Okay,
Trent,
smoke
okay?
for us. Smoke for us. Hide close. They're expecting it now. I'm gonna ult. Open door.
Yo, Heaven. It was a beast. One was B. It's just
Wait, 2 going B. No, 2A, 2A.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna
Heaven or C-Link. Heaven.
fight. Nice.
C-Link. I locked out. You're good. I'm coming out. I have a wall behind
Yo,
us.
C flank is
Yeah,
gap.
you're good.
I got it.
Fighting open. Oh, never mind. I need hold, boys. Hold me.
I have you.
10 seconds.
I need to go and break so I can have flash ready.
Go break.
Go. Peeking
You're good,
C-Link.
Nate.
Flashing.
Out. Flashing.
You're good, Nate. You're good.
Tuck.
You're good. One Heaven. I'm off you now.
Out. Right side.
Heaven C-Link. Heaven C-Link.
I'm gonna go first.
Look for a pick
I
together.
have line, chill.
78 to fade.
Chill.
78 fade.
Face your fear.
Nate's holding.
One body as well, Nate.
We hear the bomb. We're good.
Tap.
Tap.
I don't see. Picking out.
Off. Tuck.
You first, Hawks.
Yep.
Nice.
Boys.
Boys.
Okay. Hot dog.
Yo, boys, make sure we look for that team fight at the end, okay?
That was just about as good as it can get, even when it got a little bit messy towards the end and Envy start hitting shots, calm and controlled throughout.
It was so good from them. I think what I love about hearing G2's comms isn't just how calm it is or how clear they are, but how you can tell that it's a conversation, that the other players are acknowledging what they hear from their teammates and setting it up.
Bro, put Chamber on A if this guy's just gonna keep walking all day, no? Like, why am I here?
And you also just have G2 having a lot of different people having ideas, whether it was Baby Bay calling for that front B pop or the ideas from Trent and Leaf to pivot back onto the B side deep in the round. Everyone on G2 is tapped in to the idea of how they want to play. And that is back-to-back rounds where G2 have found Demon 1 to start it.
A team that clearly shares an identity, shares a vision of how they want to play together. And who has had an amazing map so far. 2 bonus rounds won. That was Envy's force now going away from them. And at this point, it just looks towards Ascent as G2 look to clean this up.
Tap of the switch. Door spins right around and welcomes Valen to 2 more kills. Check out front B where Baby Bay is going to have another. And they just continue to run away with it. And this goes back to the previous round where I was saying as long as Demon 1 gets like 1 or 2 kills, they're going to have something they can build into. But we're now heading into the 6th round of the half and he still doesn't have that ultimate online. It has just been so diligent from G2, the way they've taken these opening fights, the patience to not get punished on an active angle. And for Valen, just take timings like this and best him.
And if you were looking ahead at this game and seeing the people who were arguing for an Envy victory, I think the argument would be that things get messy, that Envy makes it chaotic, and their extreme individualism pans out. We had a few rounds like that. We had a clutch from Rossi. But overall, this has been a game where G2 has controlled the pace, controlled the tempo, and even when it gets messy, they've been able to match in terms of the performance of their individuals.
And it'll lead to people asking questions of whether or not Envy should have allowed Lotus to be picked. Of course, this was their idea. Lotus is a map that Envy have banned a lot, either first or second phase. They know it's one of the best ones in G2's wheelhouse. They liked what they saw in G2's loss to Loud. They thought they could replicate some of that success. But G2 have come back a completely different team.
Well, they've just looked like G2. The G2 that's always been great on Lotus.
Yeah,
It's always had this as their best map.
I guess maybe they were looking like a different team when they played versus Loud. How about that, Kesnet? That's a way to start off a round. He's sliding up into it. And this is that proactivity you want to see from Envy. Finally, starting a round off the right way. Keeping G2 completely pushed against the wall.
Even in a rough map, Kesnet has been having impact. He's had some really good rounds for the team. And another one here. Delivers a 5-on-2, just Trent and Baby Bay. That duo who clutched up before.
You gotta know. In their comms, they're like, hey, it's me and you. It's me and you. I got a
one,
feeling about this.
Feels a little different.
25 seconds on the clock, and even Knights wanting to bring that paranoia over to front B. Worst case scenario would be that Demon 1 playing over towards A Rubble here were to somehow get picked off and they lose the op into the next, but it's going to be all right. G2 just playing to keep themselves alive, even with so much money in the tank. Could have been an argument to be made to go hunt down for some kills, but...
Why give the ult orbs?
Fair enough.
You're not winning the round.
If you don't need the ults to win rounds anyways, let's just go ahead and keep playing standard Valorant.
Really nice timing on that peek. Right as that smoke is about to bloom, Kesnet gets in, and as soon as Shaw dies, they go back to this round's
I
out.
don't want you to lose confidence though, Nate. Dab me up. Come on. It's okay. I should have overtook your call. That's my bad. Dab me up.
Interesting. Hearing that Leaf was the one that maybe made that decision to move quick into B. But still Valen taking responsibility, and with a major league like this, important to make sure his players are comfortable to continue making those calls like we heard in previous rounds.
Yeah, that's leadership. It's not just about making the right call on the server, but how you're building up your teammates.
And from previous times where I've been able to listen into G2's comms, specifically on Lotus, Leaf is a very active caller.
Especially mid-round when he's playing this lurk position. He tends to get a really good picture of what the map looks like when he's getting proactive. As that is rough. Demon 1 wasn't even trying to fight. And down goes Kesnet too.
Kesnet hitting the floor. Glyph is somehow skirting around this site. It's ring around the rosy from him, but he's completely surrounded and still finds 2. He did his best to try and give Envy a chance into this round, but now Knights is going to go down to the showstopper, and G2 take care of business here on Lotus.
They're Lotus. And they looked good playing this Yoru, but on a second showing against a team who's great on this map, can they win it again?
That'll be the question. G2 have their eyes set on B main already, and already Our Chambers meeting on the field of battle. Envy stepping up into mid a little bit as well as Demon One dodges away from the dart and deletes Baby Bay from the server.
That's who we were waiting for. That's Demon One.
Exactly what you want to see, but still the pressure mounting. Flank coming in from Envy as Demon One will not escape Valen's crosshair.
Very fast flank, though. Has to be contended with by Leaf.
Leaf ready for it, that right click. A little bit crazy. A quick trade out from Kesnet, though, but still Envy have so much pressure coming in from main. G2 have some time to figure out how they want to deal with it. Right now, not playing forward at all, just Jogamo near stairs. With that smoke, it'll be tough for Envy to work on through it, especially with the Frenzy here on the close corner. We saw it back on Lotus, how good that Frenzy can be. This time amounts to nothing, as it'll be Trent already with a shock dart kill. It's the tag with that dart, comes out to the left, but Rossi will claim Envy's first pistol of the day.
Both Envy players were an inch away from death in that 1-on-2. They managed to trade out, make good on Demon One's opener in this round, and finally get a pistol. That Lotus, you can point to other things, but it was lost when they could not win a pistol and they could not win their anti-bonus in either path.
And honestly, from listening to Stunner in the interview, it seemed like they kind of expected that. In a way, they knew they needed to ban 2 maps. Lotus was the lesser of 2 evils, I suppose, but this is a situation that they're not ultimately surprised by.
No, they knew that it had to come down to this Ascent today. They knew they had to win it, but G2, putting the pressure on, they force.
G2 love this round 2 force. They got the spike plant down, and now they know Kesnet's stuck in the corner. A good flash, though, will force the blink away.
They know there's 3 players here now, but all the util's gone. G2 want to still fight up.
Last round, G2 saw Demon One popping out of the smoke, so this time they're ready for a fight. Little human drone action from Jogamo as now the flames come on down. And still G2 without much in the way of forward progress. Jogamo will eventually pick up this orb.
Both teams using so much just to maintain that space.
Oh, but they're going to come straight back into Demon One's Outlaw. Baby Bay is the only player with armor, and now he has the benefit of the ping. Baby Bay comes right on back after losing the first duel.
What a way to return the favor. Almost as snappy, but back towards B. This space in main, it's been the story of the round, and Glyph has to hold. He's so alone.
Perfect calling from G2, coming straight back into Glyph now. They even have Baby Bay coming up through mid. Glyph needs to stay alive, ratting it down from underneath, but even with the wall coming up, it's not enough support to keep him alive. Envy thought they'd fixed all of their problems, forgotten their woes from Lotus. Sure, they win a pistol, but they cannot deal with G2 on these early rounds.
That's brutal for Envy. And the approach from G2 could not have been better. But who won the round? Who won it for him? It was none other than this shot from Baby Bay. Demon One is TPing away, just trying to peek for information.
Yeah, he's mid-animation.
And the 30-year-old Phenom destroys him.
Oh my God, if you saw the shot I just hit on this man.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, we saw it.
You know Baby Bay's putting it on Twitter after this.
We got to do him some service there. Make the clip sound even better anyways. G2 now realize that Envy are hopelessly lost in this round number 3. Full classics, and not even sure when Demon One took that damage, but he's only on 30 health.
And what was the story of Envy? A team that is built on momentum, that when they can get big rounds, they start to snowball, they play so well off of it. A team that needs Demon One to buy an operator. And all of that gets set back another few rounds. All of that gives G2 to get comfortable on Ascent.
And make no mistake, G2 is playing this double Sentinel comp with the Yoru. It can be hard to put together attack-sided rounds. So by snowballing things early on into the half, padding up that number on the attack side, you basically do all you need in order to switch over to the defense side, have a way with it over there. Right, you're playing the Vise, the Chamber, the Yoru, all these champs fantastic on the defense. So you'll take all the attack rounds you can get.
And for Envy, they have a comp that wants to get all Torps, wants to get Knights on a run it back. Won't be able to have that early on. As they'll just look to bide their time. Maybe get a pick. Otherwise, side of the spike on this eco.
Nothing found for Demon 1. And so as G2 continue to look forward here, they've seen a lot of these looks from Envy up into the mains. Now they deal with a late mid flank. Again, another standard, I think, of Envy's in these early rounds of play. And Glyph is going to do his best to die to the spike here, get on out of there, and take a gun out of Jogamo's hands on the way out.
It's something.
It's the little things, I suppose.
When you look at this run, though, for G2, I think a lot of people were rightfully worried seeing the team that normally dominates Americas, that sees it as a formality to lift a trophy regionally, sent down to the play-ins. But I think what people forget is how damn good G2 is in these kind of tournament formats. When they have to play every day, when they have to iteratively improve, quickly VOD review their opponent and figure it out. They're so comfortable. That's that experience they've gotten from playing so many internationals, making so many runs. They love being here.
I mean, even in regular playoffs, they've fallen to the lower brackets before and still come out winning the finals in Americas.
And if they wanted to win Americas, they'd have to do it again. Even a win in this match only puts you in the lower bracket of playoffs.
Yeah, losing that first match to Furia has really put the pressure up, and now Envy with some rifles in hand will claim this round and start pushing G2 into Demon 1. This is a good setup in B main, even getting Glyph involved. As Demon 1 can take the first shot, teleport away, a little bait and switch action. Flash already broken, and the drone spots it. Leaf plays off that drone again. That's 2 rounds now, where the drone from Trent has enabled his teammates to pick up a first kill.
The kill wasn't on Demon 1, but that's a great way to push him off the line. Now he's stuck alone, backside.
That's a good shot, though. Trying to deal with this dart, though, on such a limited health as well. But with the flood coming in from Envy, G2 are not on the site. They've been stuck creeping up close to spawn here. Knight still waiting right there where they come. And now on 2 fronts, Baby Bay is going to get shut out of this, and we're tied up at 2.
Really nice support for Demon 1 there. Kezin is so fast on that rotate, fast lining into the site. And his teammate sending that dart as well to be able to instantly help out.
It looked to me like G2 were kind of mid-transition from playing mid, rotating over into B, and then once the B players got the first pick, they accelerated, but were way out in front of their teammates.
And well, when you lose Jaw on an early line like that, your hand kind of gets forced to try and accelerate out elsewhere, make something work over in B main. Dimensional drift for Jaw. He's got a shotgun off of it.
Yikes. Well, good news for Envy is they're all playing market, playing off this site, so it'll just be a quick retake for them. Actually taking a big amount of damage on Demon 1 in this spam battle as the drift was skirting into sight. But now with a couple of teleports, Valen's down in there, and G2 still have 3 players back in main. This is a weird post plant. Belief is banking on the fact that he's got this Steel Garden.
The ult's big, and there's so much utility on top of it to stall this retake out from Envy.
This is abnormal from G2. You don't see many rounds like this with 3 players back into main. And there you have it, Leaf. Buying time as this late flank works underway. Kesnet trying to find quick kills, but Envy are going to need it much faster. And Trent has finally showed up, but those shots are horrible. G2 now backed into backside. Another flank from Leaf going through mid, but G2 are completely separated. Rossi finds the first. Rossi's moving in for the next one, and now it's Leaf. To win this round for G2, he has found the opening, and he delivers.
That's such a strange round in the end. G2 with 3 players sitting off-site in a post plant. The win condition goes topsy-turvy. But in the strange setup with the ultimates, they buy so much time and give Leaf the opportunity to come in with the Red Bull clutch. That was rough from Trent, but his teammates had his back.
Yeah, somehow Leaf just has perfect coverage there to hit the planter. And then the spam through the box, just seeing the top of Rossi's dome. So we're back into A main from G2. Valen, that's just a spam kill bot mid. How many times on Lotus did we see Demon 1 get spam killed through a wall? Just his shoulder spotted. It was a big problem for them. And now on an eco round, Envy have somehow fought back with numbers in A main. That allows Knights to recover the rifle and get on out.
Kesnet going for a fight as well. Missed his mark. Has to run away. G2 have a lot of space though. Leaf already walked up, tucked towards Pizza and looking to cut rotates.
He's in a great spot and tracking 2 against the Neon. No easy task there. Knights will throw up the wall to heal on up, but G2 have broken the angles of Envy a bit. Already have cut back into this A site. It'll have to be Knights for a chance in this round. That rifle he recovered previously. He's got some coverage now, but baited out by the planter. And Valen will cover his teammate.
Didn't want to use the ult in this 2-on-3, tried to take a timing. And as soon as it doesn't work, this becomes a very hard round for Glyph.
Some spam to come in, but ultimately it is Valen's round.
I think the way G2 have been using the Odin, both in Game 1, like you mentioned, but here in Game 2 as well, to counter out the kind of angles Demon 1 likes to play has been really cool. You see when they go for these B main fights, almost always, that Odin is tucked on the corner, spamming the standard offline. There, when they're aggressing towards A as well, it's
nice.
the same idea. They're trying to use this gun as a way to deny anyone swinging into an angle, being able to find an opportunity to get a shot with an op, to stay posted in that way. It's the little things for G2 always, but it shows they have great ideas of how to shut down a player like Demon 1.
Well, Demon 1 had a pistol last round. This time he's got the op, and he's back down to bot mid. G2 have really liked opening up strong into main so far. But it means that in the mid rounds, that's where you might not have full utility to clear away these difficult corners a chamber can punish you in mid.
Demon 1 and Kezit together this time, walking down mid.
Trent's drones have basically always spotted Demon 1, but this time, Kesnit is baiting for it.
They choose not to reapproach through mid, at least not yet. Instead, rotate through spawn. Do not give an opportunity to
I don't know if they're
Demon 1's
actually
off.
rotating. They just fell back, so the drone wouldn't see anything. They're still completely frozen.
Yeah, I think you maybe send Trent over, try and fake something towards A.
Now starting to actually commit to the shift. It's a little bit strange. G2 haven't heard anything, but with the forward posting that Baby Bay has an A main, you gotta know the Opper is in mid.
Especially with the way Kezit was playing aggro. Leaf gets spotted.
That's a tell, though. Only the Vi is spotted by that dart. No more surprise out of that, so G2 have to rip it into the site. Still Jogamo with a great first shot. Knights now running it back. He'll have a second lease on life here, as that door is closed. Still, quick back into it with a slide out into the open. Kesnit is lighting it up here. Ducks down under cover with 10 seconds left. No chance at all for G2 to break free of A main. The double duelist from Envy coming up in a big way, quick on the action there to shut down G2 and claim this round.
If you can't root Envy out of mid, Knights and Kezit will always be there on the site you're hitting. He was so fast on that rotate. G2 still had players scrambling into position. 2 were caught behind the smoke in main as Kezit goes for this play. Here's the running back too that bought time even before. Knights in his second life helped his teammate to succeed on this retake.
And so timeout called from G2. Josh RT wanting to make some adjustments here, and really I think what you have to look at after how G2 have been playing so many of these rounds, so tons of utility to stop people from flooding in, but
yeah,
that last round there was nothing to cover Heaven. Leaf was on the wrong side of the map to help out that time.
But it's a similar start for G2. Baby Bay with the off this time, tries a timing shot. Knights is just going.
It's crazy going for this pinch down. Mid-end be on an anti-eco of all things.
They do this a lot on anti-eco rounds. And I can't say I've ever loved it. Lose 2 players here. That's at least a gun that can get recovered.
I'm looking at Rossi. Up in B main alone. A risky spot to be in. If he drops, even a 1-for-1 isn't good enough. You just lose full control of the B site. So the composure to fall away is smart from him, but he is still isolated here on B.
Everyone on G2 armed now.
Deploying drone.
Trent with a drone. Can he clear Rossi?
I think he saw foot. Absolutely he did, and that is trouble. What is that? Good fire back from Trent, though, here in the teleport.
But it's only 1-for-1. G2 will secure this site. Envy need this round. They cannot let G2 get control of this attack half.
Envy had essentially gifted G2 an even fight here
Standing ahead.
on G2's eco. They can't afford to lose this. Already some damage down onto Trent, and that's a great shot from Demon One. But it was Trent. The problem of Lotus, Trent in a beautiful position. How do you get him out of this corner? You just can't do it! The Red Bull clutch for Trent, and an eco win.
That is a round that has to hurt for Envy. An anti-eco, where they try to go aggressive, they try and make a play. But all it leads to is guns given to G2, and Trent set up for yet another clutch.
Great work from him. Toggling back and forth between taking the aggressive swing and tucking away. And doing that to Glyph. We saw how clutch Glyph could be, but Trent is the OG clutch master here on Ascent.
So Envy run the round back again. This time no one's home.
Okay. I mean, you're maybe just going to get caught out walking back tiles. It's Jogamo that's surprised, as a matter of fact, assuming surely it has to be a fake on that side of the map, but now Envy have blown it up again, completely stepping out of B main. Crisp double tap of the head will take Rossi out of the round. And now with the Steel Garden, Demon One doesn't care about that. He's still got that ult available, but Valen was on the other side of his scope. He couldn't even see the player. And now Knights can't find a shot. Neither can Kesnit. It's a disaster from Envy.
Dude, Valen just TP's out in the open and wrecks Demon One.
And because Demon One is scoped down, he can't even see Valen.
Yep. That's so sick from the IGL. And that's another heartbreak for Envy. You lose an Antico, we still have money. Let's try it again. They even get a freebie to open this round. Jaw caught, unassuming that that aggressive play would be committed. Only for this to be the result towards A.
Yo, you can't see me, right? I remember you did that.
Got John Cena TPing into the site, and we got Stunner hitting the timeout button. And Envy, of course, no strangers, had a tough year. But you thought that with the way they came into play-ins, with this fire under them, the way their rookies in particular were playing, you felt like something had changed, but today it's just been back to that expectation from when you see a team like G2 play up against Envy. And you see it just like that, a perfect little bait with a clone dropping out for Jog to find a kill.
That's Jaw alone, though. No one else was anywhere near, just Baby Bay walking up Cat. That already starts to pull rotations towards mid.
Another little walk down from Kesnit. And these duelists, arm in arm. They'd love to step out mid in these mid rounds and throwing through the swing. Baby Bay can't even do it, but Demon One has found that success. 2 kills outside of B main. Numbers taken for Envy.
So now Leaf and Valen to try and recover this round. This was the round that Demon One needed to get online. Finally. Big impact from him with that 2K.
Now Glyph is in a good position in tree, but it's a little bit awkward when 2 guys are approaching through mid to tree.
30 seconds left.
I like him giving space. If you die here, give up the Hunter's Fury. It's a big loss for Envy.
And with just 20 seconds left, if G2 wastes too much time here, Hunter's Fury could just end their round, but I don't think it's quite enough. And Glyph doesn't even commit it. He doesn't know where that second player could be. Could, of course, be hanging out on the other side of the door.
Run it back and a dart for this retake. But look at Leaf, off angle in heaven.
Oh, he's in such a good spot, but that run it back will spot him. He has to fall down. And for Envy now, with ultimates to commit, with this round gifted back to them by Demon One, this is one you cannot lose. But now with Valen showing that aggressive look from main, and Leaf somewhere here on site. How do you find him? How do you deal with him? Valen had already teleported over to this other side. They need to stick the half, and it's a wide swing from the rookie to secure this one for Envy.
G2 has won so many of these late round clutch situations in this series. But this time Envy clean it up. The 2 new additions, Glyph, as well as Knights there at the end, following off of the excellent work early from Demon One. It's a 4-on-5 that they had to recover from. But this was the moment. A lineup between the two. And another round back for Envy.
And I think so important that Knights found the trade on Baby Bay in bot mid earlier in the round. That equally could have changed the complexion as B main is the focal point. A fight up from Envy, sliding forward. Joggalo sees it all, but he's just going to watch his teammates die. And now the Hunter's Fury comes online. It's Jog with the shotgun. And G2 have blown open this B site. Somehow he's still alive. As the flames are nipping at his heels, Knights holds the line, holds his ground for now. His support is slow. He's fighting his own way back into this as now a flank comes online. Finally, Demon 1 enters the site and it's Valen to flee. He might be the captain of this ship, but he's abandoned it. Valen will play this 1v3 from A.
That was chaos. But now settled in a 1-on-3. In Glyph's position, Hell.
Glyph is watching this one from the grave. He knows what you can do here, but the silent drop has failed. Doesn't matter. Demon 1 comes right on down to keep this momentum in Envy's possession.
That round was fast. Envy try and fight for main. G2 try and fast exec with the Yoru ult. But this time the team fighting is there for Envy. Crazy play from Jaw. Popping out of the Yoru. Looks like the Jaw we saw at the beginning of this year. There's more and more on that roll.
Fantastic work from Knights to stay alive.
Really was. He's been the impact player in these last few rounds.
I would say in these last few series as well.
For sure.
Completely found his footing here on the Tier 1 stage. And now to try and tie things out at this half. Not have a repeat of the 7-5 of Lotus. Envy fight forward. And it's Valen on 13 health trying to teleport way out of dodge.
Back towards mid for G2. Clearing space up. Valen teleporting across. This is a space they haven't explored since the earliest rounds of this half.
Trying to catch a timing. Trip on his right. Phoenix on his left.
I think Valen lucky to be alive.
Definitely. And on 13 HP, he just wants to be the late insert. Envy fighting forward. They've done it so many times. This time, no success found. Hunter's Fury out from Glyph. Trying to fire away at these players down in mid, but it's Baby Bay marching into this site alone. Doesn't need any support. He has taken over the map.
G2 prodded at every part of Ascent here. They found the weak point. Baby Bay makes a play.
This is such a weird round, though, because the spike was still back in spawn.
I thought they were going to finish B.
Yeah. 2 players in mid, but they don't really know where to go. Finally coming back into Baby Bay now.
Still alive, though, are the new additions. Glyph and Knights. Guys who have had so many moments in this playoff run.
No flashes. They've got to win these fights honestly.
Right here.
Little jump peek and a drop down in from Knights. Tucks into the corner, what is that? And now they're running back. Knights has a chance to do it all. Gets the teleport as well. He's insane, but his Phoenix Feather is being chased. He needs that kill. It's not there. Leaf has found him. No more clutch here. G2 take the round.
That was so damn close for Knights. Your heart breaks for him. Desperately trying to defend his body. But Leaf, the cerebral player, knows the win condition. Knows that the only way to end this round is to work the flank.
The quick thinking and the micro on these plays was insane.
He's so good.
Knights just...
Dude, that guy just hero rounded on us.
And he almost had it. That would have changed the entire complexion moving into the second.
But now an uphill battle. Only 5 rounds on defense to try and save your season.
Baby Bay and Demon 1 met here on the opening pistol. And it's Baby Bay to win this time around. Instantly breaking the players in B main with that slow, stalling out Evident Envy in market. It's going to be tough to work back into the site.
I like the fight towards spawn. Try and get a pick on Jaw, but he's already gotten across to Tuck.
Yeah, he can teleport out of here if he needs to, and he will as the spike comes back into mid. Valen a little bit labored in those shots, and
Spike
lucky to
down
have
mid.
Trent here patrolling in mid as well, but these jump peaks have proven such a problem. I mean, look at that. Envy are jumping around the server. It's absurd, and it's Knights to come right back from a 4K with a 3K to start this half off right.
7 kills in the last 5 minutes from Knights. That young man, he has an agent, he has a map, and it is Phoenix on Ascent.
He's so good.
How many of the Envy wins in play-ins have been driven by him in these positions? Feels like pretty much every single one.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. 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 Let's go, Rossi.
Still believing.
Taking the Phantom in this round too. Remember how this map started off? Same situation, but Envy forced up and won the second round. That started the bleeding. That led to 7 rounds for G2. This time a different story, no force up, and Envy committed to the big guns.
G2 are stacked here on A. Demon 1. Oh, that's
no.
tough.
Just one right click to the face. And your lurk's out of it. So Valen without that pressure can switch over to the Paranoia. Invalidate that entry fast lane.
This is still a 4-man stack on A, and they don't have anywhere else to go. Babybase, he's closing the gap.
So sliding into the site now, Kesnet has it all to do, and he will be steady with it for now. Doesn't matter if they lost that opening player. Kesnet keeps it calm here.
It's what they needed. Round could have gotten a lot scarier if those enemies don't go your way.
Well, the way back in would certainly be a kill from Babybay, but he's brought a knife to a gunfight, and that'll tie up the score here at 7.
Good entries from Kesnet. He plays a big role as a Neon on this map, especially on these attack sides. Unlike the Jet, who can always find that pocket on the dive, have space to play around your Cloudburst, you are putting your life on the line every time you slide forward. You're trusting in Knights to have your back. In this round, it's well executed.
Well, Leaf picks up that beloved Odin on the Vise.
It was tearing him up in the first half.
Right here.
So by all accounts, G2 should be able to stabilize here, but if anyone on Envy is going to disrupt the flow, I'd be looking at Knights. He's the one with the gun. But with Babybay inside of the smoke, they got to be so careful. It's a crispy shot from Babybay, and another one too. His TP was right into the corner. He only had a Guardian. But he's putting up clips like that.
I was thinking about this game, and so much of that head-to-head for me went to Demon 1. How insane he's been, how Babybay's been maybe in a bit of a slump in some of these earlier games. But this looks like the match in Stage 1. This looks like Babybay stepping into the chamber role, facing the guy that I think a lot of people, especially the fans here, would consider the best in slot, and diffing him.
Well, we knew that in the offseason, when G2 were looking at who was going to fill the shoes of Jonah P, they wanted a chamber player. That was really between Babybay and Demon 1, and Babybay won the spot. You hear the legends of how Babybay was tearing up the server in Trials. Of course, what he brought to the team out of the game as well. But now it'll be Envy. Backs against the wall. Let's hear it.
I'm flashing.
Could be one more, could be one more.
Blind guys, I'm smoking one.
Why is this forward here, Care?
Can you walk out after?
I'm spacing the cat. Guys,
I have cat.
Let's go.
Cat, underneath us, behind you guys, 25.
2v1.
Behind you, mid 1.
Bingo mid. Bingo mid. Wait, Max. 80 Vise. I'm one off right now.
After fight.
You're good. Crossing the site now. 80 Vise.
He's holding you with Odin
Yeah,
there.
I'm crossing the site. I'm gonna plant.
Yeah, go. I'm playing for spawn right now.
There you go.
Your OTP is spawn.
Yep, I'm a blinder now.
Not sure.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Hold on, I'm
Can
darting.
you go serious and triple market?
Yeah.
Pick TP.
One market.
Okay, Max, it should be heavy B main and market, okay?
Nice.
Recon in 5.
Market. One in the walkout right now.
Right here.
74 Vaz.
Walking out one without a.
Out where?
Revealing
Out market.
Connor, that guy is at 74.
Walked out, done.
Could be lane.
Could be market as
Just
well.
look,
Play it lane.
Standing.
Play it
Yeah,
safe.
smoke for bomb.
Smoke bomb.
Nice try, Max. Nice try, Max.
Okay, it's okay, bro.
Nice shot, though, on this one guy, bro.
Unbelievable! Valen chooses to stick it there. in the one-on-one. Lands the defuse. It doesn't matter that Demon 1 killed everybody in that round, Mimi. That's still a round win for G2.
That is brutal. Especially after the start of this round. This fight looked great for Envy, only for G2 to turn it around in the chaos. And only for Demon 1 to bring it back to a bullet.
Oh.
He was a shot away from winning this round.
Him, Jake. You're him, Jake.
And it's Valen instead, sticking the spike.
It's just insulting. Like, you gotta feel on the other side. Demon 1, you do everything in your power to win the round. Not a chance, and now not a chance for Kesnet to even play it. Just spam for market.
Dead from the jump. Now where to Envy go? Maybe you look to Knights again. It's been so good this map.
Well, Trent was looking at Knights. It was exactly where he is.
Loves walking up off these blaze walls.
Oh, but rarely do you see him go full send. And that's exactly why.
That angle, anchoring close.
And it's desperation now from
Yeah.
Envy. You already lost one duelist, so Knights wants to make a play. Now you lost both of them, so now you really got to do something. And if you're Demon 1 that just lost a clutch to time, you want it even more. Now they've heard Baby Bay. Sets up the teleport, but they're just going to cross anyways. Ignore him entirely. Still with the double hold on backside here and the late round dart to play off of. Someone's got to break that quickly. Nobody broke it. That could be trouble as the bullets start peppering Envy. We're now in crunch time. 20 seconds left on the clock. That's a great paranoia out of Rossi. Bunches these players back up on site, but they're getting shot at from their 6. They're getting surrounded now. Envy trying to fight through this madness on the site. Rossi now with 3 players staring at him, still has to recover the spike. Hope has been lost. Baby Bay charges in and wins a 10th for G2.
This game is slipping away from Envy. Kesnet spammed at the start of the round. Knights desperate to make a play. You can see the desperation coming in. And G2 on the other side, they still play to their style. They play structured, tucking back to back in the boathouse.
Yo, Trent, we are
waiting
too
for
good,
Baby
bro.
Bay.
We're just Gary, bro. That's not...
And calm in their approach. Envy's economy in a bad spot. Another timeout getting called. Couldn't think of anyone better, especially with another run it back.
Dream situation here. Is Knights can run it back, get a kill. Somehow you have Kesnet or Demon 1 secure an orb in one of the mains. That could change everything, but right now Envy not finding a fight up into mid. Early flame wall and the run it back spent. Let's see what Knights can do. He's isolated from his team on the wrong side of the wall, and he's got no time left to play with. Hasn't even seen a single player he has sent backwards. And now Kesnet creeping up into mid. Leg spotted, duelist down. Envy have mid control, but at what cost?
It's the same thing again. Trying to make a play in the chaos, it fails. And now Envy look to scramble back towards A, back towards Valen.
Eyes on Valen.
Nasty off angle.
He has such a good position to hide behind. Just a 1-for-1 though, as Jogamo enters up into the fight. Only 2 left alive, and it's 18 HP combined. Rossi on 1. Envy made the choice not to force up here, but they did spend the run it back. And risking G2 falling within 2 of this series, and 2 within Envy at the end of their year. They know exactly where Rossi is. Nowhere left to go. Baby Bay seals the deal once more.
It's the 11th round for G2. And that was the call to save. They didn't full commit into this round. But I think Envy is no closer to finding a solution out. This is what concerns me. Seeing Kesnet try and feel like he needs to go for a play. Feels like after that run it back is gone, he steps up alone, no one there to help him. That reminds me of an earlier Envy, the Envy who went near winless in the regular stage. They looked so individualistic, so disconnected in their play.
Now Envy will meet Baby Bay in B main. They have not been able to dislodge him from this position. Kesnet hasn't been able to play the last few rounds, but this time a good flash and a jump around the corner will send him back into sight. And a Hunter's Fury too. That's coming out from the defense side. Trent trying to catch the players in main, but no bullets tagged. A rarity for Trent.
And we look back towards mid. G2 have expended little this round. They have Jaw with a TP in a nasty corner.
And yet Envy have found the weaker side of this map. And now the Hunter's Fury. A good flash. No one's looking in the corner. Knights covers his teammates back. And that is necessary. With Valen now stuck in hell. Trent needs to clear the duelist before he can support his teammate on site. He will find his mark. And Envy are no closer to winning this round cleanly. Demon 1 can't afford to give up this forward line.
It has to be Demon 1 here. Who else is going to save this round? Who else is going to keep Envy in it?
Well, G2 are taking their time. BabyBay went all the way around the world, and Leaf somehow walks out from tree. No one holding Demon 1's back. No one has the support there. Glyph has no one left to help. One more is all it takes for G2 to end Envy's year.
You're watching a team get dissected. It's another round where Envy's initial idea doesn't work. Another round where Kesnet tries to step forward. He walks into heaven here with no support. They would have had a man advantage if he doesn't die there, and instead, BabyBay activates his flank. No one's holding for Demon 1. And sure, they're great individuals, but right now they are dying one by one.
The most rounds Envy have strung together this map has been 2. They now need 5 in a row to force an overtime and stay in it. After the surprise at the start of play-ins, staying in that upper bracket, looking revitalized. Now Envy, backs against the wall. Wait, did that
the drone missed
see
him.
Dre?
The drone did not see him. Demon 1.
Careful. He won't step onto the line.
Oh.
It's that mistake unpunished for now. And Envy once again have found the lighter side of the site, but only for a second. There's already a rotate coming online.
And there's still Thorns here. Makes it so hard to actually get through.
B main is the gambit for Envy. Their last chance here. BabyBay has their exits. They can't walk out of here because BabyBay is holding the line. 2 kills for him as he continues to dominate. Envy making a mad dash back over towards the A side. A quick teleport out from Jogmo sends him back up into A heaven. G2 have 2 bodies on this site, but Envy have brought the entire pack. Some spam out early as Leaf steps straight into Kesnet and gifts a kill back over to Envy. It might be desperate from Envy, but they brought it back into even numbers. 3-on-3 now for the post plant.
G2 slow on their approach. Jaw towards heaven. Still a flash to activate out of this space. Kesnet, 2 kills already in this round. Needs so much more.
Who will be the hero? Who will be the hero for Envy to stay alive here? 1 apiece for Demon 1 and Rossi. As Trent has so little to work off of, Demon 1 holds his own. That's the first of 5 for Envy.
It's a start. A start to get back into this game. This looked like it was the checkmate. BabyBay holding the flank, getting 2 kills. But Kesnet, who's been punished in so many of these rounds. Demon 1, who feels like he's been absent in this series so far.
Nice, guys. Come on, guys. Go.
Those 2 players activate. 2 kills each.
And so back to a B open for Envy. See if they stick it this time. BabyBay, tour de force already primed. Knights will throw up the one. He gets right in front of it. BabyBay's out of his mind. Demon 1 out of the picture now. He was the pair of steady hands that secured the last round for Envy. And now again, Envy have to move into A.
So you want to pivot A, but Jaw's here waiting, tucked into wine.
A perfect timing to set his teleport. That's the retreat. Little jiggle, now he's spotted. Needs to buy some time before the TP comes out, and Glyph slides on in there to punish him. Envy got in front of that play up in main. And now with the run it back ready. Knight's moving back up into heaven. He'll take the heal. That's all good. Envy pushed G2 back with the paranoia. They've tapped into a little something here.
Another man disadvantage that they've turned around. Another opportunity to keep this game going.
It's a good post plant. G2, until they break that door, they can't actually disrupt how Envy want to hold this. And finally, as it comes down, Valen has toppled the first domino. A wide swing in from Trent. Kesnit holding his own, and Envy buckle up, because they're about to take G2 for a ride here. Babybay's got to teleport away. There's no more time left to play. Babybay is going to farm some kills here on the way out, but Envy are not out of it yet.
Envy found success in these last 2 rounds with the late A pivots here. It's a mistake coming out from G2. They lose that player tree. Jaw's only retreat hadn't had enough time to make it all the way back into cover on site. As soon as Leaf dies, that's a protection gone. And that is a dead Jawjimo on the teleport.
The rookies, Glyph and Knights, that's who finds the opening kills onto the site.
After last round, it being the 2 veterans in Kesnit and Demon 1. A different opening. And we have favored B in these last 2 rounds now. They set up to split towards A, but again, Babybay is here.
How does he know? He's in the right position every round. And now a paranoia will send him out of there. Trying to catch him out with the Hunter's Fury. Glyph unable to find the mark, but Kesnit has already claimed Valen. No more smokes. Hold out in main. Jawjimo can't hit his either. Hold on a minute here. G2, they don't even want to play the round.
It's a save. This is starting to feel like something real.
Go, go, go.
This will be the first time Envy have won 3 rounds in a row. And doing it with ease as well. That change in strategy, as mentioned. Even with Babybay being in a new position, they have the utility to flush him out regardless.
Yeah, the coverage of their utility on these executes has looked very good. Babybay had no factor in that round, had the TP back immediately, was locked away as Valen and Jaw could not come up with the shots on site. And this is what you fear with Envy. When they start to snowball, when their players get confident, when the ults start to roll in, it's exactly the kind of Valorant that they want to play. It's exactly the position that Envy wants to be in. They take the control away from G2. Force them to play that chaotic style, play these team fights, and say, beat us in the brawls.
There's that utility you were talking about. Not just the paranoia, but also the Hunter's Fury. Forcing Valen to just be out there in the open.
The cat is legit their weakness, but I don't think they can stop it no matter what, guys.
We're in full control of this game still. Just don't let it get out of hand.
Both Knights and Babybay, the new players on the rosters of all.
Before overtime.
So G2 decide to buy up around light armors and a Bulldog. Liking their odds here regardless and setting their eyes on a fight over mid. Knights loves to throw out this flame wall as a mid default, along with an early drone. Jawjimo's feet now seen, and still trying to stick around for a few fights here. Neither team giving any way, and it is Knights. He told us, cat and tree, that was the weakness, and he's delivered on that promise.
That's a big kill to find. Babybay has been on a hot streak for G2. He's topping the scoreboard. He's opened so many of these rounds for them. And this time he's gone immediately.
Now Envy have loved, after freezing in the mid rounds, to pivot back into A late. It's been the standard here. In the last few rounds, they've strung together.
Jaw this time, though, playing more passive position. Looking to catch players on the cross.
Everybody's up in heaven, even down in numbers, G2. Well, actually, as I say that, it's Valen looking for a little bit of a wide swing on the timing, but it'll be G2 playing 4-on-5 in the retake.
How do you get back in? Trent and Valen still have utility. This is an Envy, who still have control towards Tree, still have Demon 1 lurking.
It's got to be a good dart from Trent. A good dart to turn heads. Leaf's gonna find that first shot on Knights. Glyph now up in the middle of nothing. That late lurk is only good for one. So who's it come down to? Kesnet and Rossi. Stuck on opposite sides of this site.
One enemy remaining.
They both hold their own. And Valen threatening, sticking that defuse all the way. Goading Envy into fighting him. It'll be Rossi to bring this back within one.
Envy have found the path. They're one round away from overtime. After being unable to string anything together in this game on their home map, they find it here. They find it with that kill onto Babybay, with another late finish into A. And with a man disadvantage hold from Rossi and Kesnet.
And can I just say, for as much flack as Kesnet has been receiving in recent games, topping the leaderboard here in that round, getting a critical kill in the post plant. These last rounds that have mattered, he has been stepping up for the team, being what his team needs from him. But the job is not done yet.
G2 have changed their setup. This time using the Vice Wall towards Tree.
And they
trying to deal with that gap.
Yeah, they droned out B main. That allows Babybay to have the forward line. That means G2 are way more comfy to shift heavy on A. That dart goes deep. Teleport back, giving up the forward A main space. G2 allow Envy to advance in. Tandem play, deep on site. First shot won't be there even against the stun. Kesnet drops, and now it'll have to be Knights. And the rest of the team come flying on in, catching players isolated and scattering G2.
Envy is winning every fight. And from a massive deficit, they now have a man advantage to bring this game to overtime.
But who is it left in the 2-on-4? Babybay and Trent. This duo has had an X factor like nothing else today. Now working forward on their own. That last chance to disrupt Envy's dreams here in the play-ins. Peppering through this wall, but Knights is right there. 5 in a row. Envy do not go down quietly.
In the group stage, this team looked dead. It looked like they would disappear in the play-ins, but they came back when you least expected it. They found themselves at the final moment. And they've done that again this map. Needed more rounds in a row than they had straight together this entire series. And they do it. Find these late A finishes, find the individual form, and push G2 to overtime.
The entire energy in this building has shifted. We thought this was another day at the office for G2, but the Envy faithful have woken up right alongside their team, and now a forward fight into B main. Jogamo teleports back, no longer pinned into the corner, but Envy are not giving G2 a second to catch their breath.
G2 are lucky to still have 5 alive. But there's still threats abound. Demon 1, finally with an op in his hands.
Our Chambers ready to meet once more. Demon 1 misses! He needed that. Now Envy are trying to step back into mid. Kesnet steps up when his team needs him most. After stringing 5 rounds in a row, it is once again Envy up numbers. And they're not giving G2 this site for free as Knight gets right into the middle of the action. G2 don't know what to think anymore.
This game, it is not about Demon 1 today. It is about Envy as a whole. Every player has had their round in this comeback. It's Kesnet here.
G2, they're committed to A, and Envy know it. 25 seconds left. Leaf is trying to make footsteps to bait some rotations, and he succeeded. It's a Sova 1v1 on A for now. Get this kill, Trent, and you have the plant. All of a sudden, it is doable. But Glyph is playing to live for now. Brings his teammates right back into there. Glyph will do exactly what he needs. 6 seconds, and Kesnet comes right around the corner. A 3-piece to steal the lead back for Envy.
This is a big game for Kesnet.
Huge.
He's been having the worst year of his life in terms of individual performance. Stage 2, the worst stage of his career. This is a guy who's been on lower bracket runs. He's been to almost every Champions, and he's been an MVP in Americas. But he was at a low.
The relentless aggression of Envy.
So now it's G2's last chance. No op in Babybay's hands. Just a rifle, and Jaw alongside him in mid.
I'm out of here.
Envy waiting to pounce into mid. A bit of a delay of their default utility. And Babybay will be sticking around. Last time they failed to clear him. He ended up getting a major flank, netted 2 kills. But this time they're waiting. I think playing off of that previous round, anticipating there's going to be another creep up.
Envy are so slow. Finally, the smoke going up mid-1.
And it's a good smoke too. It blocks off, importantly, this angle Babybay would have onto Catwalk. A little bit deeper and have a pixel to play on. Ooh. We're limited time now. But Envy, by throwing the smoke over onto A, oh no! Babybay finds some spam, and that's going to force Envy to heat up. Leaf in a good spot, and they're fighting up into heaven! Kesnet! What is that? He's come all the way around the world! Flanking G2 against all odds, and he's there again! Valen will drop. It's Babybay and Trent once more. Some time to plant the spike as Babybay is out of the picture now. Another round that Kesnet has handed to Envy. Unless Trent has something to say about it. Kesnet has given the map to Envy. Has held out this year and given them another shot, but a quiet jump over to the top, and now the swing! It'll be Envy turning this series on its head. We're headed to map 3.
7
around. Their entire year around Envy, of course. A chance to send G2 home and claim their own spot in the playoffs.
So many teams found themselves in these play-ins. Envy maybe that best example.
I'm out of here.
It's G2. Possibility to refight front B. 2 players holding close in that smoke.
The C site is rather bare. Quick little pop flash into mid. Entices Envy to swing back in. That's exactly what they like to see. Trent out in the open. Good stun. Force back the player in C link, as now the second fight comes in from Envy. It's firing on all cylinders. Somehow Jogamo with a knife to the back, but it's not enough. So many players on 20 health for Envy. But this is an Envy that have been in control. Now 3 pistol rounds in a row.
As long as Babybay doesn't have anything to say about it. But with walking into Garage, it's a freebie for Demon 1. And Envy do secure it. Really nice team fighting from them in this pistol round. I think G2 had a good read with that flash re-clear play in mid, but you see Envy step back, wait for their opponent to use their tools, and then re-step into the fight. They do that twice this round, both times to great effect, trading off each other, and looking clean to start Haven.
G2 have made a choice here. You rarely see the defense side round 2 force up, but the last time G2 and Envy played, they played on Haven, a map in which Envy won both pistols and lost round 2s in both halves. And that is what G2 remember. They remember that 13-4 scoreline on Haven. And that is why they've gone for the Stingers here on round 2.
And you look at this series. They win a force buy on Ascent. They win both pistols, both bonus rounds on Lotus. The series would be so different if it wasn't for how much G2 has been winning the early rounds of halves.
This round looking a little bit different. Envy, flame wall up to work into Garage. Now this doesn't tell G2 a whole lot, but Leaf's in a nice spot over here. Unfortunately, it's just with a stinger, it's too long range to actually make anything happen. So Keznit will land that first blow. And Envy should have an easy plant here. Rossi hanging out maybe a little bit too long in mid, and that allows Valen to sweep on in there and claim a kill.
So that's just a pistol. Demon 1, Keznit, they're both alive with true rifles here.
Choosing to bring this fight up straight into G2's face. Around the side of that wall, Valen will fight back, evenly traded out, and now Demon 1 is down. Envy in a 2-on-3. Playing the long lines, but no HP. It'll have to be Glyph. You can't let it happen again. That's the first. Holding it down. Glyph can't do it. G2, once again, have stolen away around 2.
How often do you see a team win a defensive force buy? How often do you even see them commit to a defensive force buy?
They never do it.
Because it's objectively a low EV play. The risk is so high, the weaponry you can get is so poor.
And this wasn't even Envy going for like a light buy FPX. No, they had big guns here, and they still lost.
I think that's what cost it. The Demon 1 whiff in spawn. He needed that kill. That was the difference between securing CT control, leveling out this round, and letting it slip away.
Of all the ways to stop a 8-round loss streak for G2, it's the defense force up. And so Keznit has a rifle somehow because, of course, they only bought 4 guns in the last round. Let's hero Keznit. Give him a chance to shine and maybe, just maybe, figure out a way to play this round.
We saw some insane back and forth with the Eco wins in the Sentinels game yesterday. This has some echoes of that.
Now, it was just a stinger that Knights picked up off of Jog's body. But Envy have been calling nicely around G2, and I want to go back to when they started winning rounds on Ascent.
Sure.
Envy consistently were finding the weak side of the map, getting good mid-round calling, and hitting into isolated single players or the side of the map that didn't have Vi's utility. Now they found themselves an open C site.
Valen, the only one in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it is a Spectre.
They
Without armor on the other side, yeah, that thing becomes a whole lot more lethal.
This flank is so fast. They have no idea with that smoke on the trip.
ADS there on the Stinger. It's a weird buy, of course, the G2 picking up what they could from the previous round. And Glyph could still be an issue. Backside for now. Trent just trying to stay alive, and that's a great shot out of him. And Trent will take another one as well. He thought maybe there was a chance for Envy in a round like that, but G2 will keep it calm here and take another.
Nice try to Envy with the Keznit hero buy. He gets him a great opening pick. They call a pretty solid round. But G2's superior arms win out the day with this double flank coming through. I'm just happy to see Keznit keep up the performance. There was a lot of individual moments on Ascent, but I don't think anyone shined brighter than him. And I don't think anyone needed to
Good play, Jake.
more than him.
Baby.
So, a run it back available for Knights. Attention over mid now from Envy. And that's exactly where G2 have this double stack on Garage. Could turn into a bit of a bloodbath. Keznit has been seizing space so early on. Previous round, you saw him get in front of the C's on A. This time, it'll be behind the drone. Instantly broken away, and the teleport to set up the bait. Valen right on the opposite side of this flame wall. Envy don't suspect it, but it may not matter. Push through A. Envy are already aware of it. Now, with both sides of the map striking for G2, Envy are all out of sorts. Demon 1 can't even steady it there. G2 just took over the map.
I love the trap play in Garage there from G2, baiting in for Valen. But their aggression on the rest of the map is even better. Seeing that heavy presence in mid, they're so fast on the flank through from A. And that crunch absolutely decimates Envy. That was their buy round. That was their round where they finally had to run it back online. And G2 decimated them in it.
It's cool how Jogamo on the flank was actually using his fast lane. He's giving up the idea that he was going for the flank. Didn't matter. Use that to close the gap. Find a couple of quick fights on different angles.
And against a team that plays this chamber instead of the Morph, he's getting proactive in the mid-round. I feel like he hasn't been finding his mark yet today. I think if he can come online along with the rest of the team, that could be the difference. for Envy.
Pistols for Envy and back to early mid control. I will say I'd love to see them go back to the A main fight in future rounds.
Even just to get Demon 1 embedded down short, I think makes a world of difference in how they can play their macro.
And the last time we saw it, you saw that Kesnet can actually beat the timing of the default Cs that's been thrown out with the fast feed on the Neon. And now actually pulling the trigger on the ultimate to take this forward space on B.
It's just going to run out of time.
Yeah. B can be a little bit messier, though, for defense side to retake, especially versus the weak guns, especially with full site control. How often do you see teams play completely bunkered up on site? No one far away. And if Envy can isolate one of these two sides, one of these links, pick up some guns, maybe there could be a chance. Knight certainly thinks so. But I'll have to be ready for Baby Bay. Slow on the approach as the star clears away. And now G2 pinching on both sides. Oh, it's nice with those pistols. All of a sudden, Baby Bay is not the insurance, he's the necessity for the team. And Glyph, who's a mile away with that Hunter's Fury, stuck in a firefight, can't pull the trigger on the ultimate. If he had been able to use that, it's a guarantee round win. And it's great presence of mind of Jogamo to chase him down and make sure it's not a possibility.
Baby Bay is the reason that they won that round. He was so late working back through Garage. His teammate had already died C-Link that they thought, we have this side of the map secure. We can pivot the fight elsewhere, but that's exactly when he arrives. Takes down Knight, trades Demon 1 backside, and buys the attention to allow Jaw to arrive on this late flank.
So here's that A main fight we wanted to see. Now Kesnet can get in front of the Cs. That Trent usually throws outside A lobby for that quick fight down on A long. Instead this time, working on to short. But a high angle held by the Omen. And Envy are going to stop in their tracks after getting the forward posting of Demon 1.
That's exactly what I wanted to see. Get him active with the Tour de Force. Give yourself an option to call back into. But now where do they go with this mid round? Do they pressure elsewhere? Baby Bay's just walked down mid, holding this aggressive angle.
Crazy position to be in. But of course, in range of his teleport to send him back into Link, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
There's 3 players on A still. Envy. Going to try and put a little pressure, drone towards Garage, and that's the pick they needed.
Good pick. And now that drone not going to sell a fake over there. Usually you'd have the flame wall. And Envy have already shown 4 players on this side. So quick slide up from Kesnet, worried about 2 different angles, and separated from his team. That's a spacing issue. And G2 will punish it. Demon 1 can't even pull the trigger. So Envy sent scrambling. Leaf out in the open and punished as well. Rossi's found a pathway back in.
Another flank from Bebe. Jog's just activating alone.
No one looking at him. Last round, it was Jog and Baby Bay to win it. And now it'll have to be Glyph finding some way through this. Jog has no idea, but he still gets the kill.
How's he moving like that?
I mean, he looks like he's
it looked like
in
he
zero G.
Glided up the box.
I hope he's explaining how to do that, and we can get a chance to listen to it. I think he unplugged his headset, and he's trying to wait that one out, plug it back in, get the defuse.
Looked like a ballerina.
He's moving in-game and out-of-game, yanking that out of its
This is
socket.
the moment, though, that cost Envy the round. Kesnet cannot be that deep
30 seconds
without the rest of the team able to scale with him.
I mean, Jogamo just embarrassed Envy. Look at that. Oh, it's the quick hop up.
The short hop off the box. That's so sick.
As
Bro's
he pulls
playing
the
Tony
180.
Hawk.
Oh my word, what is that? Because you can see the tracking from Glyph.
I'm surfing, boy. I'm surfing, boy. Let's go.
He thinks Jog's head is going to be on that lower angle where he initially dropped.
Because why wouldn't it be?
Why wouldn't it be? Oh my word. A mind-bending movement.
That's so sick.
Look at this walk down from Leaf. C long. Unleashed a little bit. And G2 really haven't done anything on C the last few rounds. As the split comes in, though, this is a decisive kill. Leaf gets caught a little bit lost there. Now Turtle smokes on site, trying to keep Valen embedded in here. Calling in the reinforcements, too, knowing Kesnet is just on the other side of Plat. And knowing that Envy is not far behind him either. Valen's still alive! His reinforcements fell one by one. But Envy didn't have an answer until this very moment. So it brings Trent now into the clutch.
You look at map 1, you look at the sword this end. It was all about the clutches for G2.
Demon one up here, a little bit isolated inside of the smoke and quick on the trigger. A second round for Envy.
Good work from him. Keeps this one secure. Doesn't give Trent any chance in that clutch. So Envy, after a debilitating round before, they go for a faster play here. And while it took some time to kill Valen, the team fighting to deal with the rest of these players was nice. Demon 1 activating through Garage at just the right moment. And that's what I wanted to see. A Demon 1 get inactive, a Demon 1 getting involved in these rounds. You saw it before when he lurked through short, his own on a site, acting as that forward scouting.
Well, Envy certainly believe that C site is the weak point. And Envy's a team that once they lock into a weakness, they will abuse it round after round until you prove that you have some kind of a response. And so they'll waltz into this B site virtually for free. And the question will be whether or not they can play up versus this post-plant utility for G2 on the retake.
There's so many ults for G2 to get back in, so Envy have to fight. They have to win this towards spawn.
There's Knights right up in front of the stun. A great timing caught, and now Leaf realizes that there's a whole heck of a lot of people right up on that choke point. He pops out back plat. Glyph not looking at him, that's the first. And Baby Bay as well, marching in from Garage. A flash will keep him down, but not for long. Another one hits the floor. And 2-on-2 now, but so hard to play down long versus the chamber up. Baby Bay switches over, takes this fight up into Demon 1, and he'll regret it. Leaf on Rossi. And not a clue in the world. Finally learns where Rossi is, but there's no time. Envy found the answers. They found the weak site. They pinpointed exactly what they needed in the post plant, and they executed on that idea.
Back-to-back rounds, abusing this C site. Nicely played in that late 2-on-2 from Envy. But this is the moment here. Knights going aggressive, recognizing the threat of the ultimate. And dispelling them, wasting time early in that post.
Let's go, Rossi.
Nice, guys.
Now I want to see more of that from Envy, fighting deep in these post fronts, getting close towards CT, against a team that has shown you so many different flank looks in their retakes. I think that's very effective. Try and punish what's been often the weaker side.
Baby Bay wants that timing out of the smoke, but sent packing. And this is all a ruse. Look at A lobby, look at mid. 3 players on other sides of these angles. And Leaf just getting dropped there. It's good shooting from the Envy crew. They've worked all the way through B site and realized, hey, we got flanked through A. That means nobody's home on that side of the map.
And they'll take it for free. Just a stinger late walking in from the B site. Valen has a fight here, but with now Knights backing away, he'll lose his opportunity, and they spot him.
Now this round is a 4-on-2, but kind of a 3-on-2. Demon 1 not a factor, and now it's a 2-on-2 on site. Jogamo slides on forward. It's a good flash from Knights again. 3 kills for the rookie, and Envy within 1.
I just think his Phoenix util is so good. Whether it's when he's playing the slower rounds and is getting a ton of value out of his wall and how he's conditioning on the last map towards mid, on this map towards Garage, or later in these rounds, always getting value out of these flashes. And how he's fighting off his teammates. Clean 3K from him. It's another run it back online.
Baby Bay with an op this round. G2 still no big differences on this C side. But maybe quicker on the rotate from Baby Bay could be an option. I mean, Envy are really staggering the approach here. Run it back behind the fast lane. No one else behind it.
But they've already lost a long control. The ult is just going to fizzle out.
And the Hunter's Fury from Glyph trying to play off that, and he connects. Wow. I mean, that would have been a round-changing kill had it not been for the walk-up, had it not been for Trent taking care of Rossi, taking the smokes out of this round.
This is the right pivot from G2. Baby Bay has the perfect angle, but he whiffs his shot. Kesnet lives.
That one. And now the overwhelm is here. The stun doesn't even take a chance. Envy, bring the heat. You miss one shot, and they will pounce on you.
It costs the round here. If Kesnet dies, there's far less of a go factor. And now it has to be a clutch. G2 desperate for an opportunity to get back into this round.
Well, that's some spam through the wall. Try and equalize a bit here.
No charges.
Still tough to work on through this when Envy know exactly where you are. If anyone could do it, it would be Trent, but not today. We're tied at 5 apiece.
2 maps in a row where G2 have this fiery start. Look great. Here it was off that force in round 2. But Envy figured it out. They find a weak C site. They start abusing that. Now they start to play some of these mid rounds here. Babybay missing that shot. Fast acceleration into the site.
Enemy remaining.
And now 4 rounds in a row picked up. And you see again, it reminds me of map 1. They start to win rounds. They get the confidence underfoot. Start to make bigger and bigger plays.
And so this bye looks eerily similar to that round 2 force-up from G2. They won it then, but this time, playing up against a stacked Envy that have once more found the weak side of the map. Tethered up for a moment, and that allows the rotates to come online now.
Already encircled by Leaf. They're hitting into a stack.
This could be trouble. The Stingers at close range are absolutely devastating. And Jogamo and Babybay from backside have done it. Rossi is the last alive in the blink of an eye. He lost every single one of his comrades. What can you do for us, Rossi? What can you do? One more is required.
Do you read this flank? Leaf is fast through sewers.
He expects it. And Rossi has time. If it is a flank and he waits this long, he could be gambling on Leaf, assuming that, well, Rossi himself walked all the way back through G2's own spawn. But it's a game of chicken.
30 seconds left.
And in a game of chicken, it is really hard to make Leaf break. He's a player so confident in his decisions, his positioning, that he has not even moved a muscle. And Rossi, perhaps reading that, has finally found the gap on out of here. He's second-guessing his timing to actually plant on C. Chooses to work for the B side instead. Now in this post plant, he's got the pull. Another star to play on and the ultimate. But with him retreating all the way, he is trying to play for maximum time on this spike.
And Leaf couldn't find a gun. Still just a stinger in his hand against an Astra in a one-on-one.
Rossi is miles away. Leaf knows he's got to tap this spike quickly, because the pull will come online. Stop the half stick. For the second tap, there's a stun ready to go for Rossi. He lands it perfectly. That is beautiful.
The IGL, after finding an open site, after calling his team into success in the last 4, this time walks into a stack, needs instead to come up as an individual, and he delivers the Red Bull clutch.
By all accounts, this was a 1 round from G2. A 3 versus 1 on the Stinger force-up. But that's why you gotta love Rossi on the Astra.
Yeah.
No other smokes agent can clutch it out like an Astra. And now, we're down into mid. Leaf wants this fight, and Babybay's holding his window. There's a smoke here, but he doesn't care. He's peeking over it. And you have no idea he can be up in the sky like that. And now Valen locks down C2. Any hope of a fire back momentum starter at the close of this half from Envy has been stuffed out in the blink of an eye.
That is a big round for Babybay. This half had turned into an absolute nightmare for G2.
I mean, they were up 5-1 at a point.
Yes. Haven't won a round since. Till now. Till Glyph. The leader just wondering where it went so wrong.
We've seen the one before. We've all seen that clip. But G2's utility is so diligent, Glyph never stood a chance. G2 tying things up at the half here. I mean, you couldn't ask for it to be any closer than this. In a series that G2 had, by all accounts, won for themselves back on Ascent. It is now dead even to close the first half of this final map.
Such a sick map 3 here. Both teams were winless on Haven this stage. Both teams desperate to stay alive, keep their seasons going, and get a chance at the playoffs. Tied up 6 apiece at halftime. The series ends next. Wasn't just the good read, those late finishes towards A, but it was Envy's individuals heating up. It was them winning every big round, stealing momentum out of G2's hands.
Envy have won the last 3 pistols in a row. Let's see if anything changes here. Demon 1. Exactly ready for them, but it's just an arm shot this time. Baby Bay on 45 health, and Envy trying to stick around inside the orb on site. A stun, though, will send them away from here, and G2 set up for the post.
5v5 retake, that's difficult on a pistol round. Yeah. You look to Kesnet and Knights, those two to make the space, get Envy back into this round.
Especially these A retakes without a paranoia. No line control. So Kesnet's got a stun. That's about your best option here. And the flash, but it's countered out on the other side. Jugmo sliding right up into him. Doesn't have a care in the world as another cover drops. Covering these players, Leaf will land a pair, and G2 stop the drought on these pistols.
The post fight looks easy there for G2. Taking the right timing to refight with Jaw sliding towards spawn. I think G2 as a whole does a very good job of knowing when to refight and make their play in their post fights. It's rare you're going to see them go for a fight like that without intent. Here, it was using all of the utility, picking the right timing, and the rest of the team is still there. The second Jaw dies. They're in great complementary positions.
No force-up shenanigans from Envy. They play it by the books here. It'll be G2 right back to the pistol again. Control over this A space early on. And that'll be an important thing to do, making sure that Demon 1 throughout this half can't just get the easy forward line on A and turn those 2 entrances into the site into 1 by just posting up down bottom sewers.
If you look back at this game, I think a lot of the what-ifs in the head for Envy will be around pistols, around these force buys. Lost 2 bonus rounds in the first. They've lost to 2 force buys this series as well on the second round of a half. And here again, they have to start a half at a disadvantage.
And so really we're looking at round 15 here and making sure Envy can stop the bleeding. Tough world they live in as well, where Knights just has the 2 orbs, so sending him into die to unlock that early run it back, not so relevant.
No. That's really the dream, though. When you look at this defensive half for them, I think the 2 biggest things I'm focusing on is 1, Demon 1. He had a tough defense back on Ascent. He needs to be good here. He needs to get an operator in his hands. Because once they have that, once they can post him on a line, it frees up Kesnet and Knights to be so much more active on this map. It allows them to fight where they want, to quickly re-clear space. When he doesn't, it's much easier for G2 to run him over. It means that they're a bit more hard-pressed to try and make those same plays.
And to his credit, first half was looking solid out there.
It was.
Especially more of a factor in post-plant situations, I think, than super early on into the rounds. That'll be the different role he has to play. Envy buying full light armor here. They have the money to go for heavy, but wanting to get this econ rolling and have the buy in the next 2, regardless of dropping players. And that does leave them especially vulnerable now to this bonus round of G2s.
Early exchange towards A. Envy hold on to the space. G2 just staking their claim with a trademark.
Down C long. That's where Demon 1 is. And some footsteps heard. Demon 1 would have heard that on Trent, so he is very prepped. You already see the rotations coming in from his Neon, abandoning that A side. Starting to shift over. But Prowler will force him back, and G2 ping-ponging left and right around the map.
See the chamber on C, look elsewhere after baiting out the TP. The A site right now looking quite weak.
Yeah, but it does seem like Envy have the reads, right? Like,
yeah, this rotate's coming in.
starting to shift back over. Sometimes if you keep alternating back and forth, you can get caught in windows where you don't have support on either side, but G2's slow play allows Envy to make this happen.
They sidestep the dart, though.
And a fake wall on B side. I mean, that's going to be instantly learned from Kesnet. An easy kill, and now the forward flash too. Glyph is lights out there. 3 for him on the round. Working off of a gorgeous curveball from Knights.
Very good from him. Another late round where it's one flash from Knights, setting up the team to fight and winning out the round. That young player. So much of Envy's success, I think, tied to getting him in. Look at the roots of this team.
And that call must have come in so early, too, because Knights was playing over on the C side earlier in that round. Instantly rotates here, takes that forward fight on a beautiful timing.
Let's go, bro.
Glyph the one to follow it up with those 3.
Break's over.
But now, this is the round that really counts. Both teams have weapons. Envy posts heavy towards mid. His jaw will just push Glyph off immediately, seizing space A long.
Envy with a full mid trap. Double B, double garage. Let's see how convinced they are of that, because this drone is ill-advised. Nobody here on the site to come into Glyph support. Now Envy have to work their way up against a wall.
5v5, they got destroyed on their A retake attempt back on the pistol. This one's going to be even harder with no Sova.
Their comp struggles massively on A retakes. They're trying to come 3 up through heaven because you can't really break out of the choke point on the floor. You can't break out of here either when Leaf is shooting like that. Good Lord. Just putting on a clinic, making Envy think twice about dropping out of heaven again.
This is one of the reasons why I really want to see Demon 1 get an AWP in his hands, because I think it solves a lot of your problems towards A, of being able to contest this space. When a solo Sova is playing that space, if you take one wrong time and greed for a drone like Glyph did, these Neon comps are incredibly fast to accelerate and punish you. And if you die in that position, if you're down a man without an Omen paranoia in your comp, retaking A is pretty much impossible.
And look, I feel for Glyph. You know, the scouting report clearly states that G2 are old men and they work rounds very slow. They crawl forward at you. That's exactly where G2 changed the tempo and catch him where he thinks, oh, I have got the timing. I can do this.
The good news for Envy, though, is that they do have the operator for Demon 1 this round. He gets to help bolster the A defense. Similar opening for G2, but this time they pivot back towards mid after pressuring A.
Still a very passive line for the chamber over towards A, but of course that tripwire controls sewers, but forward intel lacking for Envy.
G2 haven't explored much towards C on their attack side. But now they look to walk back towards this space. A drone just went back towards mid.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Envy sometimes can over-rotate and leave gaps.
Oh, they're re-clearing this.
But it's a re-clear, right?
Yeah.
Had G2 been looking to actually execute into C there, it would look great for them, but because G2 are trying to transition back into mid, this slow play, and the scouting report paying off there.
Rossi's in a committed angle here. If he dies, this is trouble.
This is a tough spot to be in, but he's fought through, and Trent is so low HP. That's a collat headshot through the wall, and even though Rossi drops, Kesnet is still there, and Kesnet has a chance to win this round. Spike not planted, moving forward onto the line. Belief is there to secure it.
It had to be Kesnet. Demon 1 was still across the map. He was the last bastion of hope. And now Demon 1 has to clutch.
2 health on Trent. 30 on Leaf. And the scouting ultimate. But the drop is heard. Trent is in exactly the right position. G2 up on 10.
And that's not just a lost round. That's also the operator. The weapon they had been waiting this whole half to get online. Gone. Won't have that again in the next. This is a good re-clear idea from Envy early in mid. They got a quick punish onto Baby Bay. But here, it's both Knights and Rossi getting caught off in these positions. And Leaf, really the man to take the risk of this round. That fight towards spawn. Working back in here as well.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
It's not a super high fragging game from Leaf, but he has been so impactful in these critical post plants. I think that's his strength as a player, seeing these complicated situations.
You know, focus on the points of the map that they knew were going to be weak. They could keep execing down Cat. Here, they have to respond to G2. It's harder situations to figure out for a young IGL.
Very passive start from G2. Just waiting for any aggression to come.
Demon 1 just disrespects the dark cover, gets in front of it. But you can tell that G2 know exactly how Envy like to play. Just completely guarding for the aggro walk.
Wait for a re-clear, wait for a fight. Punish that. And then you can go.
Now the question will be if time ever comes into play. We're far away from that for now. But Glyph having the Hunter's Fury can pose a big problem, especially as we work now under a minute.
G2, after pressuring in mid, the spike still towards A, and look at Envy. They've been inching forward in this space. Demon 1 and Kesnet, two big names to hold this space down.
Yeah, G2 have to spend a bit of utility. That's a collide kill down short. You're joking. Kesnet has come alive here in the last two maps.
That was a hero gun. Now Jaw has to try and make a heroic play. He dives into B.
But he's leaving because Leaf is over on the C site. It's under 30 seconds now. No Hunter's Fury anymore. And a site opened up for G2. Rossi could be a difference maker. In window, into the corner, not stunned out, tries to get that backstab against Jaw.
Look at Leaf in spawn.
Behind enemy lines now. Kesnet has his knife out. He had no idea that could even be a possibility. And so one of your guns is down. Demon 1 now has to step up to be that guy. But Babyface holding him. Now it's G2 closing in. Even numbers. The lifeline Kesnet had extended to Envy has all but been extinguished. Baby Bay has stepped up for G2, and they continue to extend this lead.
3v5 victory for G2 on their anti-eco. And who's the one to get them out of the jam again? It starts with Leaf. I mean, that should have been enough. Guns recoverable, a 3v5.
Trent never even saw him.
But then it's that fight towards spawn. It's Baby Bay getting active into the round.
Enemy remaining.
Great position.
Yo, Nate. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
You want to play?
No doubt for G2, it seems, in getting that round across the board.
Demon 1 up online, but no forward line. Again, relegated playing deep on this A site. And G2 are looking for the pop. Oh, he waited for Jaw, but the shot wasn't there. Just missed, and now all of G2 have made it underneath his scope. He's already on 57 HP, another miss. And there's not a second chance. That's a hit on Jaw through the floor.
It's another 5v5A retake. Envy have not been able to win a single retake on this site.
This retake is for Envy's year. Knight's ready to run it back. That's the first shot. Envy have shown up now. 5-on-3. As Jaw steps right into Envy's face. Envy still need to find a way back in as the drop comes down. And now Velen is there. Velen to shut them out of it, but Rossi comes back in and brings Envy right back up.
Envy, they fall from heaven, one after another, dropping into Valen's lap. But the last man to do it, the last man to fall, manages to save Envy.
Unbelievable.
And again, it was 11-7. Again, it's a big Envy play. Keeps them in this game.
Rossi had that 1v3 clutch earlier. Now with the drop out of heaven. Brings his team ever closer. Holds on to the op for Demon 1. The win conditions are there. The light at the end of the tunnel. They can see just a flicker.
G2. Win conditions of their own, though. Baby Bay with an attack sighted off now. And another slow approach. They're looking for Demon 1. Where is he this round? Posted towards long.
But the last time he played in that cubby, it was good utility from Trent. Crowler to come on in, spot him out.
This time he stays, though. Doesn't take the teleport. In fact, gets more aggressive on the line.
Yeah. Look at Kesnet. Kesnet's just back in spawn, floating back and forth, using the speed of the Neon for the fast rotates.
Need to have found the gap here, though. Garage is weak, only a trademark.
And now Demon One doesn't have a place to teleport to. He'd go straight up on his same position. Knows they're closing in as the old back spawn. Valen out of his crosshair again, and the spam delivers too. Valen in back-to-back rounds now. Huge multi-kills.
Knights is
Control
in.
the site.
30 seconds
He's
left.
Is
alone,
here for
though.
Envy. Knights stepping forward. Knights could be everything for his team, and he is. The young superstar brings it within touching distance for Glyph, but Baby Bay's op is there. One more for G2. They're right back in that same position they found themselves on Ascent.
Valen could not do it in the last round. It was a kill away. But this time, he gets it across the line. This read is so good. You see Demon One towards long. You know that they're heavy on the A side of the map. TP backside. Force Demon One to have nowhere to go.
Look at the buy. Look at the buy for Envy. They got nothing.
It would have to be Kesnet, really. He's got an ult. He was a hero last map to even give Envy the second chance on Haven.
On Ascent, he needed to win 5 in a row for his team. Now 4 is that magic number.
Go, go, go.
The first challenge. Demon One teleports away. Stuck on A short. He's sticking around there with a Phantom in hand. They know exactly where he's gonna be. And out the utility behind it, a rare miss. And Demon One holds his ground. Now he falls down though as Kesnet trades evenly. It's one after another for Envy. It's all falling apart. Rossi left alone in a 1-on-3. A stinger is all he's got. With Envy's year resting in the balance. He will drop. Trent will take it. G2 will advance to playoffs. Envy might have gotten close, but close is not enough against the Kings of Americas. G2 stay alive here in the lower bracket.
Incredible bounce back from